Welcome back to the King and Post podcast, Art of MMA. I'm your host, Jamal Thompson, and I am with,
Roger.
yes, sir, and UFC Fight Night, Moreno versus Kavanagh in Mexico City. Now, I've recently found out they are about 8 hours away from where the unrest is, so we're golden.
Okay.
We're good. Everybody's there.
All right.
Everybody's safe. Everybody's preparing for fights. We did have one short notice thing happen since the last time we kind of had a conversation about it at the back end of the last Fight Night review. Regina Taryn is stepping in on 3 days' notice to fight Ernesta Karshikate. I don't remember who her initial opponent was, but we'll get to that because she's about the third fight on the card. Let's go with the opener. Two Dana White Contender Series fighters, their debuts. Damian Pinas versus Wes Schultz. Wes Schultz, more of a ground guy, not really a ground specialist, but that's his preferred method of engagement. And Damian Pinas is kind of a heavy puncher.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of knockout power in those hands. High rate of significant strikes. I think he has quite a few finishes by knockout. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Damian Pinas is the overwhelming favorite in this one. I have not pulled up the lines necessarily, but people are banking on that knockout power showing its head in this fight. I don't know how much you looked into both these guys. What says you about how this fight shakes out?
Damian Pinas, knockout.
Yeah.
I think first round and a half. And that is mostly
get him out of there early.
Yeah, look, if it goes the distance, I'm leaning the other way. I'm leaning for Schultz, but kind of not really. I don't have much faith in Schultz, to be honest with you. He's gonna. I mean, he doesn't have to show me anything, but like he's for me to
have to show me anything.
For me to be like, oh yeah, this guy's gonna be good. He's gonna have to show me he's good.
Yeah,
because watching some of his past ones, he's not shown me that he's got the skill.
Yeah.
To go too far right now. If he develops it, he's got one thing that I give him and never take him away. He's got heart.
Mm-hmm.
This kid's not going to give up in a fight. I watched one of his fights, and I think it was a Contender Series fight that he lost. And he was getting beat on, but he was not stopping. He was continuing to throw. He would throw a punch, miss, get hit, and keep spinning and swing on him and do the same thing with his legs and kicks. Like, he's not going to stop. Like, the ref's going to have to jump in and tear the guy off of him because he's going to keep fighting back unless he's out.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like that about him. But I think that Panas is going to have to really jump in there, hit him with a heavy punch, and he's going to swarm him. And I think that's going to be the end of the fight because I think he'll have the ability to, kind of box him up so that he can finish him. If that makes sense. Sometimes people give him space. They hit him, then they give him space. The guy can move and keep going and keep turning and keep spinning and throwing punches. So if Wes Schultz keeps doing that and keeps going, I think he's got a shot in this. But I still think even if that happens, that Damian's going to be able to score more points over the 3 rounds. So I would got Damian solidly winning this fight.
I think Damian's speed and athleticism is just going to really be too much in this one. Being able to keep his foot on the gas pedal and keep Schultz on the back foot, not really engaging first, not really able to lock in much takedown attempts. I could see it being a situation where even if he does kind of get a good takedown attempt, Pinas is able to roll or, end up in a top position, surely based on, again, sheer athleticism, not necessarily practice. I'm with the Pinas side on this one. I don't think Schultz has enough for him. And I do have it by finish as well. All right. Sometimes the ESPN app gets a little bit wonky. Can I rant a little bit? Why does it flip? I pick a fight and then it flips the whole card upside down. Why would you do that, ESPN? Make it weird. Anyway, Eric Silva versus Francis Marshall. Silva is the huge underdog in this one, plus 600. Francis Marshall minus 900. I'll leave this to you again, Roger. How do you see this fight shaking out?
Well, I don't get it. Those
Okay.
odds are way too high, I think. Now, to be fair, Eric Silva has not won a fight in the UFC,
Yes.
right? He hasn't won a
Yes.
fight in the UFC. He's fought twice. But Francis Marshall is, what is he, 2-4 in the UFC? 2-5? Let's see.
He got KO'd by Bulgarian. He got split decision by Gomez.
He's
He beat
he's 2 and
Rojo.
3.
Yeah.
He's 2 and 3 in the UFC. You've got him at minus 900 for a guy with a losing record in the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean,
And the Venezuelan fighter is closer to home also. I just want to throw that out there.
I don't see, like, Marshall. I
Silva
can see
hasn't
you
fought in
making.
a few years too. This is his first fight in 2 years. I
Yeah,
think
but
that's part of it.
still, I can see you putting Marshall as the favorite because he has been more active, and he's won some fights in the UFC. But that big of a
12-year age
odds
gap as
is,
well, just to throw that out there.
yeah, but still, that big of a odds is kind of a
So
slap in the face. That's like, why are you even here? Kind of odds.
are we taking Eric Silva to make it out of the first round? Is that what we're doing right here?
I tell you, I wouldn't bet on Marshall to win it. So
Minus 600.
I mean, here's the thing.
Yes.
This is going to be, I think, probably a pick'em fight.
Pick 'em.
Yeah, I think so. I
The
don't think
odds ain't
this is.
saying that. Pick 'em.
I don't care what the odds say.
I don't care what the odds say.
I mean, listen. I can't say Eric Silva's going to come out there and upset him, or I can't say that Marshall's going to go out there and lose. But I don't have that much confidence in Marshall. I mean, it's not like he's out there like killing people.
He's not. He's not.
So
I think
to put it like that, that's I want to see the fight because now that them putting the odds where they have really
intriguing,
has
ain't it?
me intrigued as to
It's
what is there an
intriguing,
injury
ain't
to Silva we don't know about?
Mhm.
Is there something going on that we really think this guy's really got that much of an advantage over him? You know, um, we'll watch it
I
and
think
we'll
it's
see.
I think it's a 2-year layoff. I think it's him being 38. I think it's
38 with a 2-year layoff.
I think it's a faster 26-year-old who, even though he has a losing record in the UFC, is 26 and should have the athletic advantage.
He should. Yeah.
They said that the odds for him to win by submission for Francis Marshall to win by submission is only plus like 105. So they're expecting him to get him on the ground and that be the path to victory. But hear me out. Eric Silva by decision is calling my name.
I mean, what's the odds on that?
I might answer. It's like, oh.
Yeah. I mean, that's small money to win large money.
Yes.
Eric
Silva by decision is plus 1,200.
I mean, you're not going to lose very much. Yeah, but you can make a lot if he comes out of it. So
it's calling my name, man. I don't know. I might have to answer. This is definitely not a Voya play.
No,
we'll leave the Voya out of this one.
No.
Marshall something about it just like, even though Marshall's like a better athlete, like Eric Silva's last loss was to Naimov, who was pretty okay.
Yeah,
in the division, right? So I don't know. The odds look kind of crazy to me as well. I understand.
No, look, Marshall should win this one.
Yes,
but I don't see that much confidence in it. So okay,
I might dabble on the other side, man. You might have convinced me to take a look at it a little bit closer.
Don't let me convince you to do that. This is not
I don't look, man. Sometimes you got to shoot for the fences, man. Even if I just take it the plus 600 side, that is intriguing, right?
I mean, yeah.
On to our fill-in: Regina Taryn versus Ernesta Karshekate. I am not Lithuanian. But
Karake.
I'll get the Karake. Okay.
Yeah.
Roger might be
I
part
did some
Lithuanian.
research earlier. They were saying Karake. I'm gonna say Karake.
Roger might be part Lithuanian. 7-0 prospect Regina Terran. The research I did is that she was offered a WWE contract at one point, turned it down to fight MMA. Is 7-0. This is her UFC debut. Karake 6-1-1. Her wins are against Cagliari and Judice by split decision. She is a striker, a very good striker. The research I did is their fight was so entertaining that even though Judice lost, they both got contracts because of how good it was striking wise.
Who was this?
Karake.
Okay.
If you are striking with Judice
Mhm.
to that extent, I'm on the Karake side of this fight. I have
Okay.
not seen much from Regina Terran. Again, I hold a bit of pause when there's a little bit of the unknown out there. And now we have a Mexican fighter stepping in on 3 days' notice in Mexico. The crowd is going to be on her side. But if Ernesta has the hands to hang in there with Judice, and maybe I'm putting a little bit too much stock in Judice, but a 21-year-old debutante across from you, you should be able to pitter patter your way to a decision at least, right? I think Karake has this. I'm taking her to win. Higher significant strikes. I'm not sure about a finish necessarily. She might be able to get a finish in there, but at minimum, her by decision with a high output of strikes. That's my lean. What says you?
Well, let me read you a few things that might
Let me hear them.
make this more intriguing, because I saw this name and I had to say who's replacing her, and I looked it up. Central and South America, pound for pound women. This is all women because that's how Tapology does it. So I'm reading off of Tapology. Central and South America, number 17 for all women. This is Regina. Latin America, which includes some of South America, does not include Brazil, number 3 pound for pound fighter. In Mexico, she is the number 1 pound for pound woman fighter in Mexico. She is from Mexico City. This fight is being taken in Mexico City. That altitude means nothing to her. In North America, it has her as number 22 pound for pound, and number 2 pound for pound in Florida. She's super young. She's 21 years old.
Yes.
Kill Bill is her nickname. She's 7-0. Listen,
That's such a sick name.
all this could be hype, but I'm excited to see it.
She's
because
4-0 in her last fights. I didn't even look at that. All by TKO.
Yeah, and she's 7-0 overall. She lost in her first amateur fight. Might have been her only amateur fight. She was knocked out in round 1. And since she went pro, she's cleared everybody off the board pretty impressively, to be honest with you. With the highlights I saw in the fight that I watched,
she looks like a problem.
She looks like she could be a problem. Karake's good too. So Karake in her fights, how many has she? I think she lost one of them.
Yeah, drew one.
And that was with she lost to Barbosa. In a split decision.
Mm-hmm.
So good fight for the newcomer, but
great fight.
Karake's good. Like she's fun to watch. I'm actually gonna go with Regina on this one. Regina Terran. Coming into Mexico
the debutante?
City. Heck yeah, I'm taking her.
No eyes
now,
on Hard Rock yet, but if it pops up, I will let you know.
Listen, I'm excited to see this fight because I want to see if Terran is for real with that competition. Because before Karake got up there in the UFC, she kind of had a very similar reputation as someone who's going to come in and set the world on fire.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that they're going to have a reach advantage, either one of them. they're pretty close in size, I think. Regina Taryn's 5'7", so for a girl, that's pretty tall.
It is.
It's not like WNBA tall or anything, but it's pretty tall. Um,
Mhm.
and then I think Kara K is very similar in size. Um, so I expect that altitude to play a role in it, to be honest with you. Don't know where Kara K's at now. I told you if I find out I haven't looked it up, but if I find out any of these fighters are not in Mexico City,
A week out.
s- at least 2 to 3 weeks out,
Mhm.
I'm gonna pick against them. So we don't have that issue with Regina Taryn. So I'm gonna pick her to win this. I'm really excited to see this fight because I think that if Regina Taryn is everything they've said she is, this could be a really good fight. And if she's better than what they say she is, this could be a very short fight.
I agree. I agree. I think maybe some of the juices on this fight not to go the distance potentially.
I can see it.
I don't know.
It's
I'm just
hard for a
excited.
woman's fight to be like, this is not going to go the distance. If you're not Amanda Nunes, it's hard
Yeah.
to say this one's, or Ronda Rousey with the submission. That armbar was crazy. Like you
Yeah.
could expect that to not go the distance. There's not a lot of women knocking people out though. So,
This is true. There's
but
some potential out there though
yeah,
for the divisions to really get spiced up a little bit. I don't know. I hope I'm able to watch it. If not, I will be running it back.
yeah,
Um yeah, I think that would be a good one. I think that would be a good one. I'm sticking with Carrot Case still because of just experience and like full camp. But a Mexico City fighter, 21-7-0, pulling up at home on short notice, saying, "Yeah, I'll do it."
yep,
If she comes in there and gets a finish,
bro.
give her the contract immediately.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. It's a catchweight bout too, probably because it's so
because of
late.
the 3 days notice. Yep, I'm excited.
Yeah, she doesn't
Um,
have to lose that weight, but then
Carrot
neither
Cake
does Karake. So
could heavier punches could be a finish. Neither
could
of these
be.
people are looking to wrestle. Could be a finish.
Uh, Terrence jiu-jitsu is good too. Um, I don't know that she's got knockout power, but she's got that ability to get in position and hold that position. Karake does look to be a little more aggressive though. So from watching the two, from what I saw, the limited amount that I saw, Karake is a little more aggressive.
So,
So take from that what you will.
sheesh, I'm excited. Douglas Silva de Andrade versus Javier Reyes. Douglas Silva, 40 years old, a little bit of a
Mhm,
journeyman. Um, hasn't had a whole lot of UFC fights, but a little bit of a journeyman in terms of fighting. Javier Reyes is 32, just got a contract off of Dana White's Contender
mhm,
Series off a first round knockout. Heavier puncher. Um, I think I see what they're gearing up for here. Um, but Douglas might be a little bit more durable than they expect.
mhm,
Reyes is the favorite. I'm also leaning with Reyes to potentially get a finish in this one. Um, via aggressive pressure, closing distance, getting him out of there. Because at 32 and the ferocity he fights with, because I think he's a little bit later in his trajectory. Most people are entering the sport,
mhm.
especially the UFC, mid 20s, late 20s.
Yeah.
He's trying to get to where he's trying to get to as soon as possible. Um, and I think Andrade is there to play victim to that. Um, but don't sleep on Andrade's uh durability and ability to potentially make this a sloppy one. With it
Mhm,
being 3 rounds, he could probably play this safer, wear some damage, try to get it to the ground a bit. Um, Pretty solid Muay Thai striker as well. So
mhm,
maybe keep him at bay with some of those strikes. Maybe work the legs a little bit, kick the legs, try to slow down Javier Reyes's entries.
mhm.
Um, but I think Reyes will be able to get in there and get it done. What says you?
I think this is an upset notice.
Okay.
I'm going with Javier to be upset in this one. It's his debut. He's picked to win. Um, I watched his Contender Series fight. Yeah, he got it done, but I don't think that style's going to translate. We'll see if it does. Maybe it's just not what I'm used to seeing from the Contender Series, but I just don't think I don't think he's the big hype that everybody is putting, or not that everybody's putting on him, but the like to go in there against a UFC veteran and be the favorite, I think it's a good fight for him, a good entrance level fight to see what you got. I just don't think it's going to translate. We'll see, though. We'll see.
Excited about seeing it for sure. This next one, I feel for this guy.
Which one?
I don't think he's gotten a fair shake. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong next fight. No, I'm looking at the right next fight. Chris Moutinho. How much do you know about Chris Moutinho, Roger?
I do not know very much about him. I know he's lost his last 3 fights in the UFC. He has not won in the UFC, so that part I do know.
Brought in to fight. They're not even showing his prior losses. That's kind of crazy. Oh wait, because he went to lowered levels after that. Yes, Chris Moutinho got called up on short notice to fight Sean O'Malley.
Yeah, I did see that.
That was his first fight. Chris Moutinho got famous for being very, very durable in that fight. I don't know if that's to his benefit that he was that, durable. But Sean O'Malley put 230 significant strikes on him, mostly to the head, until he eventually got, TKO'd in the 3rd round. So, wore a lot of damage. Gave Sean O'Malley a little bit of a highlight reel kind of like performance. Then they gave him Guido Canetti, Argentinian bantamweight. He knocked him out. Then he gets waived, right? He goes back on that scene of lower level fighting, builds himself up a little bit, gets called for another short notice fight against who?
Wellmaker.
Malcolm Wellmaker.
That right hand.
Yep. Gets caught with the hook, gets sat down again. Now, the American-born fighter who, for a little bit seemed like he was kind of semi-rep in Mexico, Moutinho, gets Christian Quinones to fight. 29-year-old guy.
Yeah.
Also has, a little bit of a negative run. Has lost his last 2 by sub, but has a KO, an unanimous decision in the Contender Series. I don't know. The Chris Moutinho I've seen has been there to be hit a lot.
Yeah.
The Chris Moutinho I've seen does not look to be a ground specialist necessarily.
Right.
And potentially there is, I guess, room for him to try to get this on the ground, because the last 2 ways Quinones lost his fights were by sub. So if you feel like you could get on the ground with Quinones and put him in an uncomfortable position, potentially do what it takes to not stand there and get punched a lot, maybe you could make this a fight. I can't rightfully, based on what I've seen from Moutinho, confidently pick him to win a fight in the UFC. The odds are plus 475 for Moutinho, minus 650 for Quinones. I think those
minus
odds,
650?
Yeah, for Quinones to win.
Okay.
You seem like you're not sold on those odds.
This is another one where they've got 2 fighters that are just don't seem like they're on the path to be considered a big favorite in any fight. So to make them a big favorite is very surprising. Like, I know
this first one though,
Quinones
I agree with you.
Quinones can strike, you know. So if you're,
but that's Moutinho's like kryptonite is people who can strike.
Right. But
so nothing has shown me that Moutinho is like a ground specialist, that he's going to get in there, close the distance, and take him down. What I've seen from Moutinho is somebody who stands still. He is the definition of kind of like flat-footed. He stays in front of you. He does not move his head. And he just kind of keeps pressuring forward. And if you're a striker, you're going to tee off on him. So, yeah, the odds are a little bit crazy because Quinones hasn't had the most stellar start to the UFC, right? But
yeah,
Moutinho, I think, is
I mean,
maybe not cut out for it.
I think this is one of those where it's like, and I hate to say this because I don't know this to be the case. It strikes me as one of those fights where it's like this guy's under contract. Let's put him on a fight, and they wanted an entertaining fight, so they put these two together. Somebody who's lost two, and then somebody who's lost all of his.
Yeah.
And so you want an entertaining fight, so the matchmakers put these two together.
Hmm.
Um, but the odds on this to be like this guy's that heavy of a favorite, that's surprising to me. But somebody's got to be the favorite, and people
Put it
looking
this
at this,
way.
I can see where so many people are saying Quinones is going to win this, that the odds do shoot up that way. Whereas in the last one, I couldn't really see that very much. So I could see in this one, like, if I'm saying I have to pick somebody to win this fight, it is going to be Quinones. And if enough people are saying that, then yeah, I could see that. But
As Vegas, would you want to make these odds a pick 'em based on the losses when you've seen how Chris Moutinho has lost his fights?
I
And
mean,
then
yeah,
you
that's true.
saw, like,
Yeah,
imagine if I came in here and told you Quinones was minus 120 against Moutinho, and the storyline is the same.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I
They
don't know.
got to
That'd be
mitigate loss. Like, either you're going to make it
yeah,
so crazy that if people go heavily on the Quinones side, they had to risk a lot
yeah,
for it, right? Or you make the path to victory, which they have Quinones by knockout at like minus 110, because that's how they see it finishing.
yeah,
Um, you know, you make them have to risk a 15-minute fight, not making it 15 minutes to go heavily on one side winning. Um, I don't know. I think Chris Moutinho has fought some of the higher level talent technically. Um,
yeah. Oh
fought
no, he's fought higher
fought
level.
is a uh pretty freely used term because I don't know
Though
if
I
what he
gotta
did
say,
against Sean was fighting, or what he did against Wellmaker was necessarily fighting, but he was in there against
yeah.
that level of competition.
Now Barcelos is good.
Yeah,
Bar-
Barcelos is good. Yeah,
Barcelos is a good fighter. So,
that's what I'm
um,
saying. Like,
but Quinones is young. He's got a chance to improve. His
mhm.
his shot to improve is better. So, um, it'll be interesting to see this one. I would go with Quinones in it. I
A
wouldn't
fun
go.
bet that I would take is the fight to go the distance. Because,
I think you're right on with that because if
yeah,
Sean O'Malley couldn't get him out of there till the third round, you're telling me
eh,
Quinones can?
eh, that's not what I mean, Sean O'Malley, for everything that he is, he's not a power puncher,
He's
right?
not, but he's a precise puncher.
Yeah, that's why if you could wear damage, you could go pretty far. The thing is,
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with Quinones' damage. Um, that's why I'm like, if I was to be a little bit dicey and look at it, maybe Quinones by decision is a fun play, or
Hmm.
fight to go the distance, just plus 190 is a fun play. Um, but again, if Quinones punches hard, which a lot of, maybe this is a hot take, a lot of people in that weight class punch harder than Sean O'Malley.
Yeah. No,
Sean doesn't really carry knockout power. Again, precision,
but he's
volume.
knocked people out so much. But it's that precision.
He's knocked out like 3 or 4 guys. And if you go back
Well,
against his
if you
knockouts,
say knockout or TKO, those are two different things.
yeah.
But
Well, even
yeah.
TKOs, like he caught Aljamain, that was a
Hmm.
stoppage. Some argue early. I don't think so. I think he would have been eating punches from down there for at least 10 seconds. Maybe he grabs an ankle. They called the Aljamain one probably an early stoppage. He hit a couple people now with that intensity and hasn't knocked him out. You know, the one where he kind of feigns the jab and then
Yeah.
throws the knee behind it. Um, Sounded like a baseball get against Cheeto. Didn't knock Cheeto Vera out.
Yeah.
Didn't knock Song Yadong out with the same knee. Um, put a bunch of punches on Peter Yan. Like, he's a good striker, but
Yeah.
not necessarily a knockout artist. Now, we watch Wellmaker practically decapitate
Yeah.
Chris Moutinho, and that kind of damage wears on somebody's chin. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how hard of a puncher Quinones is. I think he wins it. I think the fun one is fight to make it to the third round, even if you are worried about him getting knocked out in the third, fight to go
Yeah.
to the third round might be plus money as well. That'd be the fun play on that one. But yeah, minus 650. I'm staying away from that line. Eileen Perez versus Macy Chiazon. Eileen's been on a bit of a run.
Yeah.
Eileen beat Jocelyn Edwards recently, um, who is one of our favorites right now in that division on a run. Macy Chiazon, apparently this is kind of like I don't want to say like a farewell one, but she's 1 foot in, 1 foot out of the UFC currently, is what I've been told. In the
Really?
lead up to this
I
fight,
haven't
yeah,
heard that.
like she's kind of like she hasn't had a good run lately, so this might be
Yeah,
like
she's been on the wrong side of him a couple of times.
yeah. I think despite being closely odds made is sharp because I
Mhm.
think the 72-inch reach to the 66-inch reach she is on advantage is important to look at.
Mhm.
Um, both women are comfortable on the ground. I think in terms of ground fights, this is Eileen's biggest challenge most recently. Um, it's gonna be tough to break down that length. I'm on the Eileen Perez side just because I think she is on that run.
Right.
She is kind of a little bit sharper. I think her last few opponents have been a little bit sharper than Chiazon's last few opponents. Um, and I think that fight against Jocelyn, where Jocelyn also had the reach advantage, kind of gets her prepared for somebody like Chiazon. Um, yeah. So give me Eileen probably by unanimous decision. If I had to guess, it's going to be a little bit of a ground game. I don't know if she gets a
Mhm.
sub necessarily. I think Chiazon is a little bit too good on the ground to be submitted by her.
She's
But
pretty good on the ground. Yeah.
yeah, give me a unanimous decision win over Chiazon for Eileen Perez.
I think I'm gonna lean the same thing, especially after hearing you say that they're saying, she's kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out. If you're not committed to it, somebody at the talent level of Perez is going to be too much, I think.
Yeah.
Um, I like Macy. I usually root for her in any fights. I don't know what it is about her fighting style that I like, but I like to watch her fight. I feel like she's never really out of a fight. Even if she's losing
Mm-hmm.
the fight, she's still not out of the fight. She can still pull off a submission. She can still make it interesting. She's still giving it back to him, you know. Um,
Exactly.
and so she's never out of a fight. But if your commitment level is waning a little bit, um, I don't think Perez's is. So if your commitment level is waning, give me Perez on that one. Probably unanimous decision. I don't see it being an early stoppage or anything, but I would
Nah,
say
I think the
unanimous
ground game's too
decision.
good for the other one. Yeah. Jose Medina, Ryan Gondra.
Hmm.
Ryan Gondra has finished the last 3 fights by KO. Jose Medina, um, I don't want to say on the higher end of the scale, but 34, four
Hmm.
losses in a row. They he was one of the sacrificial lambs to
Hmm.
Gautier. Got subbed by Todorovic. Zachary Reese got a unanimous decision over him in 2024. He's fought some good people.
Yeah.
He's fought some good people. Um, mm. What do you think the odds are on this one? If I were to ask you,
You're going to tell me something outrageous, aren't you? I would say for the new guy to win, Gondra, right? Gondra.
mm-hmm.
I would say for him to win minus 300.
minus 750. Gandra minus 750. Jose Medina plus 525.
Give me Jose Medina to win this fight. Bro, no hesitation.
Oh gosh. So look,
Gondra looks like a brawler to me,
yeah.
and that leaves him open to get hit.
Mm-hmm.
I know Medina got hit by Atiba. I know he can get knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Gondra's Atiba.
Mm-mm.
Um,
So you're taking Medina to win by finish?
anything. I think
Anything.
yeah, I unanimous decision even. Um,
Really?
Yeah. Now, let's preface this with Roger knows nothing about Gandra except for seeing the little bit of highlights I've seen and the little bit of fights that I've seen when researching this, because I've never seen him fight a full fight. I've seen Medina in a few different areas. If he gets tagged, Gandra could walk off with this one. But at those odds, give me Urbina to win that fight. There's not even a question, not even a hesitation. You know, I don't believe in the brawling style to be able to take a more technical style at this level. It can happen. I think Gandra's too big of a brawler.
So Medina, who's 0-4 in his fights in the UFC.
Don't care.
With 2 getting finished in his last 2 fights in the first round. You believe that he's gonna...
No.
Okay.
I don't believe that he's necessarily gonna win. But if I'm gonna put something, put something on the line, I'm gonna put it on the Medina side. Because
so what you're saying is there might be a Medina. What's the other fighter we talked about earlier? Medina Silva dollar to win $200 going your way.
Hey, look, yeah, and if you want to, no, that might be just throwing away your money if you put Maltino on there.
Martina, I mean,
if you put those 3 on a parlay together, and I mean, you never know. On one of these fight cards,
oh gosh, okay.
I mean, I'm not saying, go broke over it. There's nothing to go broke over. I don't believe in any of those fighters enough to go broke over any of them. You could put the same amount on the other side, and I'm not going to put a lot on it. If you take those odds, no. Look, Gandra might be good, but it's his first fight in the UFC.
That's, yeah.
And he strikes me as a brawler who keeps his hands down.
Yeah.
That, to me, that's not... Like, there are a few people that can pull that off. It's not many. Maybe he's one of them. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he'll go out there and get the first round knockout. He'll look like a superstar. I'll eat my words here next week. That's fine. But
that's fine.
9 times out of 10, I'm not eating my words on that one. He's not. People who go in with their hands down, just swinging like they've never thrown a punch in their life, is not going to beat a professional fighter. Now, he's got a lot of wins. I get that.
Francis?
I said 9 times out of 10.
Okay.
I didn't say 99 out of 100. There's enough examples of people doing that, like building careers off of that. There's enough examples, but it's not as many as people
Francis
think.
Stat?
What's that?
Francis averaged 1 knockout per 22 significant strikes in his UFC career.
Wow.
So for 22 strikes, he averaged a knockout.
Yeah.
That rate is crazy. I think they said he only had like 240 landed significant strikes. His entire UFC career had 12 knockouts or something like that.
Yeah.
And they were doing this as, I guess, an indictment to Sean Strickland, because Sean Strickland averaged like 1 knockout per 563 significant strikes or something like that. But like,
hey, who's got more wins in the UFC?
Who's got a longer career right now, right? So,
how many times did Francis defend the title?
Did he? I don't think he did. I think he won it and then he was gone.
They both had 1 title run.
Yeah.
And Sean has more wins. Has held on for longer. I mean...
Exactly. Fighting styles,
Yeah.
That's a whole thing. But
that is a whole thing. Sean Strickland is not a power puncher.
I disagree.
I'm not saying he can't throw a power punch. I'm saying like he's not a power puncher.
His style isn't that. His style is once he gets you hurt, then you start feeling some of those power punches.
Yeah.
On to the next one. Santiago Luna versus Angel Pacheco. Another battle of the young gun coming in to fight the older fighter.
What are the odds on this fight? I'm really curious about this fight.
Okay. Guess.
I'm going to say they've got Luna as a heavy favorite.
Okay, yes. By how much?
-4.
-6.
Take Angel Pacheco.
Give me Angel Pacheco.
Bro. I watched Santiago Luna in his first fight.
Yeah.
Have you watched it?
No.
He beat Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Some might say early stoppage.
Mm-hmm.
First punch Lee threw. Lee threw, Santiago went down.
I think I might have watched it.
And then he stood up and Lee kicked him in the face and wobbled him. And Santiago did knock him down once. That's fine.
Yeah.
And he did finish him. And a lot of people thought it was an early stoppage. I mean, I could see where you could say early stoppage, but
he said,
it's,
yeah.
he was getting beat on. Pacheco didn't get knocked down like that very often. And Santiago Luna does not. I mean, he's young. He's super young. So he's got plenty of time to learn. So if he learned from his mistakes, maybe that was nerves. I don't believe in him that much. I don't believe in his style to do that. And Angel Pacheco, I think, hasn't won a fight either. But this is another one with somebody who hasn't won a fight in the UFC. Going against somebody who has questionable hype around him, to me. And I think that's the way this fight card was set up. Give me somebody with questionable talent and put him against somebody who doesn't win in the UFC. I think that's the theme of this fight card right here. I think you even see it in the main event. So, Angel Pacheco with those odds. Put him on one with Medina and what's his name? Hey.
I mean, are you ready for this next one? Amal Rodriguez versus Kevin Borjas. Who do you think is the huge favorite?
What do you think? I'm going to go with Rodriguez as a huge favorite.
Okay, how big?
With the way it's going, probably a -13.
No, -450.
Okay.
Yeah, -450. But Kevin Borjas has been in there against Van.
Yeah. A lot of these fighters have been in there with Van. If you're a flyweight fighter on this one, I think Edgar Chairez and Bunis were both in there with Van. Like, this is the fight card of people that lost to Van.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, Rodriguez, in his Contender Series fight, looked good. He was hittable, and I think the guy he fought slipped when he came in, and Rodriguez took advantage and just crushed him. But I don't think it was actually his hands that put him down the first time. It was the second time. He did put him down after that. But in the first one, it kind of what started that whole sequence was a slip by the other guy. And it was a pretty good fight until then. It was not a long fight. It was a very short fight, but fun. But the Santiago Luna Pacheco fight, what do you think about that?
I do get a little bit hesitant but I've seen guys not really play a smart way to engage. A 13-year age gap is crazy to me.
It is.
And I know they're banking on just one guy being so much faster. I get it. I get the play, right? Pacheco, his last 2 losses, unanimous decision losses. He also isn't like a UFC, necessarily vet, because he hasn't fought in 2 years either. I understand why the gap is what it is. These guys are active going against guys who have not fought in a while.
And not won.
And not one on top of that, right? When Pacheco was last in there, it went 3 rounds. I know I said this is going to be a lot of finishes. Maybe it won't be first round finishes. Maybe it'll be like halfway. If you're asking me, I think Santiago Luna blitzes him in the first round. I do. If he's able to win that first exchange, that fight is over in the first round.
Could be.
If he blitzes in and he gets stung, not necessarily knocked down, but gets stung and doesn't get the finish he expects early, this could be a long match.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean he's going to lose it.
Right.
I just think he's going to fight completely different if he doesn't get what he's looking for in that first exchange.
Interesting.
I realistically picking, I'm probably going Luna. Going with your method, though, I understand the odds are kind of way out there, and I get it. These guys are athletic, fast, starters with strong hands. That's why they're getting the odds they're getting.
And I have to go back to this because I need to look this up real quick. Where is Santiago Luna from? Because he represents Mexico, but is he Mexico City? Is he from that altitude? And to me, that's super important here. Baja California, Tijuana. Same as Moreno, I think.
My thing is, these guys aren't fighting for it to go all the way to the third round. That's another reason I think there'll be stoppages.
Yeah.
They're going to blitz the first round trying to get the fight done. If they don't, that second round is probably going to be whoever is going to be a will of stamina in that second round for a lot of these 3-round fights. If there's one guy who has enough juice after the first round, he could really put his foot down on that second round, maybe get that finish in the second. I can see that happening. Once it gets to the third, it's just going to be like a will of who's willing to throw more. They're going to be gassed, especially if it's a guy who extended himself in that first round to get the finish. I could see the fight quickly swapping over to whoever's just looking fresher in that back end. And a lot of these younger guys are supposed to be fresher going into that back end. I think that's what they're looking at. If you haven't fought in the UFC in 2 years and they give you a fight at high altitude, they're expecting you to not make it 3 rounds, Roger. So yes, these odds are probably baked in with your thinking with the altitude, these guys being in their 30s, these guys not fighting UFC fights for 2+ years. Maybe that's why the odds are so crazy. But you're right. If they have the grit and they know how to grind a fight out and they have been preparing for the altitude, like the odds could be a little bit crazy. And these guys are there to get hit too. If they also decide that this is a 1-round fight and approach it as such, they could put that pressure on the young guy that they didn't expect. The young guy's probably expecting defense, not necessarily offense in those first exchanges. So,
got a question.
Yeah.
What's the best way to find out when these guys got to Mexico City? You think Instagram? Look at their Instagram and see when they landed in Mexico City.
Instagram,
when they got to Denver to train, or where where they're training that high altitude.
Or you could look up the flight logs from the state that they're from. No, I'm joking. Don't listen to me. You said, "Whoa."
That's a whole nother level. I'm like down here.
I'm
like, do you think Instagram? Look at the flight logs.
Look at the flight logs to see when they left.
Boarding
Denver.
passes.
Nah. The thing is, even if you're there for a week, NFL guys could tell you, they were dying in that Mexico City fight. I think it was the LA versus, it was the Rams versus the Chiefs, I think, like 4 years ago. The fight was supposed to be, the match, the football game was supposed to be in Cali. There were fires. They moved it to like Mexico City or something because they had to have a Mexico game or something like that. The elevation wore on those players so heavily, and they were there for like at least a week training on the field and stuff. It didn't matter. And those are elite athletes that play a way longer game than a 15-minute fight. I think a lot of these guys are going to get in there and try to get done with it quickly. Personally, it just depends on what kind of defense they get back or what offense those older fighters who've been out of the fight game for a little bit are willing to put on.
Well, let me tell you something here that our next fighter is going to have as an advantage if he takes advantage of it. And the older fighters will have is that they remember or have someone in their camp, Daniel Cormier, who remembers when Cain Velasquez went to Mexico City and lost his title because he got gassed. He does not gas. Cain Velasquez was known as the cardio king for the heavyweight division and not gassing. He went and lost his title
for that.
to Brazilian guy. Sub Emelianenko. Name is completely out. Was champ for Oh gosh, what is his name? I can see his face. Anyway, beats Cain Velasquez in Mexico City. He adapted to the altitude for a month, and he knew Cain
Really?
came in shortly, and he knew that Cain was going to gas. He said, "You can't take this altitude after being here for a week or even two." Gosh, what is his name?
Verdum?
Verdum, yeah, yeah,
Fabricio Verdum? Yeah.
mm-hmm, yeah, Verdum. Trained in Mexico City, stayed there for like a month before the fight. And some of these older guys hopefully are old enough to know that. And you know that Cormier is old enough to know that. You know, he was around that. He was probably at that fight and watched his boy gas in Mexico
So
in
who's
front
the
of a
fighter that
Mexican
could take
crowd.
advantage of that?
Anybody that's got the money to go there and train. If you
Okay.
got the money to leave your camp and get there a month early, you can take advantage of that. If your opponent doesn't get there until that week, dude, they're going to gas. If you get acclimated and they don't get acclimated, you've got a distinct advantage in any of these fights. Because
So this next fight, where it's Edgar Chairez and Felipe
Mhm.
Bunez, is Felipe the guy who's with Daniel Cormier?
No. This is Rodriguez Borjas.
Oh, so is
Emino
Borjas the guy with
Rodriguez. No,
Emmanuel Rodriguez is
Rodriguez is with
with Cormier.
Cormier's camp. Hmm.
So you're not taking Kevin Borjas then?
Nope,
Okay,
I'm taking the
because
other guy.
Borjas was the plus
Now,
350.
let me tell you, Borjas is from Peru.
Yep, that's elevation
There's
too.
Well, unless you're from the beach, there are beaches in Peru that are down there at ocean
Yeah,
level. But unless you're from one of those cities, you're probably from the mountains, so you know about the elevation. So, but
a thousand percent.
I think Imanol is going to be the aggressor here. He could get upset. Um, he was getting tagged in his first one. He can be hit. Um, but but I think he's going to be a killer. I think he's got that killer instinct, and I'm going to take him in this fight all the way.
Since we've talked, Eric Silva's odds have been going down. It's plus 575 now. So I don't know if somebody's listening,
Hey,
but people are taking Eric Silva as we speak.
must be Uncle Dana.
I told you, he got me bugged. Every time I open up this app or I open up my phone and start talking about stuff, things start swaying, things start shifting. So
Yeah.
all right, so you're going with the Kevin Borjas side because of
No, no,
no, you're going
no.
with Emmanuel Rodriguez side
Yeah,
because
I'm saying Daniel Cormier knows something. Daniel
Cormier's got him
Cormier told him to
prepared.
go out there early.
Yeah,
He is also a Mexican fighter.
yeah.
I don't know if he's American, like of Mexican descent, or if he is from Mexico. I've not looked into his background that much. I know he fights out with
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Cormier apparently in Gilroy. So,
Mm-hmm.
but hopefully Cormier is training him right and telling him go train at elevation for the last month. If he's keeping him in California, that spells trouble.
Yeah, that does spell trouble.
But we'll see.
Edgar Chairez versus Felipe Bunez. Chairez is a minus 350 favorite. Chairez is the Mexican-born fighter in this matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Felipe Bunez 14-8. Both guys are coming off of Bunez came off of a loss recently
Mm-hmm.
to Estevam. He also lost to Joshua Van, like you said earlier. Chairez is coming off of a win to Vergara, and he also lost to Joshua Van.
Yeah.
In 2024. The odds being that far apart is kind of surprising. But I understand the Mexican fighter is going to get a little bit of the juice on this one. I'm with it not finishing.
Okay.
I think it will not go the distance.
Okay.
My pick is for Chairez to win via TKO.
That's what I got.
I think Chairez gets the hands going. I
Mm-hmm.
think he lands heavily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Now I think it's Bunay's here where I was seeing him scrambling on the ground with somebody. And he showed a lot of tenacity, keeping an arm bar, came off of that
Yep.
arm bar. And he got the win. So going to the ground, you might have a fun fight for those who like to see grappling. He's got a lot of tenacity there, but I don't think he goes to the ground. I think Chairez comes out with the win. and I think it's probably a TKO
Put the
stoppage.
pause on him. Put the pause on him. I think
Hmm.
he does.
Yeah, and
Um,
that's why I think those odds are what they are.
yeah.
Shirez has some losses, but they're to Van and to Tyra. And
Hmm.
what's your next title fight in that division?
Yep.
So,
Yep.
um, I think he's the guy in this fight.
That's real. Levels, man. Levels.
Hmm.
I think this next one is going to be a little bit of that as well.
Yeah.
Daniel Zellhuber versus King Green. Now,
Hmm.
granted, Zellhuber did get a little bit of a fraud check against Michael Johnson, but come to find out, that probably wasn't a fraud check. Michael Johnson's been on a run lately.
He has been on a
Um,
run.
King Green
Has been on a slide.
won his last fight, and it was
Oh, he
I,
did
I
win
won't
that, didn't he?
I won't say it's questionable, but like watching the fight, it's funny. Looking at the statistics, you could be like, "Oh yeah, it's a W against short notice." It was the worst fight I've seen in a very long time.
And I could have easily seen that going the other way
And
because of
that's
the
crazy to say
activity.
because the other guy also did nothing.
Exactly. And it was split decision. So, like,
Yeah, a ref looked at it and was like, you know?
it's it's one that nobody can be mad at. If your guy won that fight or your guy lost that fight, you can't be mad at that because y'all
Yeah,
both were equally as not in it.
terrible. It was 2 takedowns for Lance Gibson Jr. Um, very minimal strikes, 30 significant strikes. Then on the other side, King Green got 65 significant strikes, 1 takedown. That's all she wrote, right?
Yeah.
When King Green has fought a striker with length and a little bit of creativity,
Hmm.
last time he fought a guy like that, I wish I could say run the tape, but I'm not going to add any highlights in here. He saw stars.
Hmm.
He got healed on the side of the head, and it was a knockout. Now, Zellhuber, I think, still has a little bit he needs to show. Granted. But I think the creativity, the length, and all that, at minimum in this fight, we're going to get a Zellhuber by unanimous decision. I think that's the minimum. I think he outstrikes him, outpaces him, keeps King Green on the outside, and learns a little bit from what happened in that Michael Johnson fight to kind of make some adjustments. Um, Granted, he is coming off back-to-back losses, but I think there's enough adjustments that could be made where he, puts his foot on the gas a little bit more,
Hmm.
puts a little bit more on those punches. Maybe he doesn't go to the decision because he lost by split decision. He lost by unanimous decision.
Hmm.
Maybe he goes out there in Mexico and decides, I'm not making it go to the judges.
Yeah.
I just think he needs to outpace King Green. I think King Green is a little bit out of his depths recently in striking matchups. I think he's worried about the knockout or the finish. And I think Zellhuber is going to be able to get in there
Hmm.
and get it done. I think he wins this fight. So,
Okay.
what's his you?
I think this is a good placement fight. So,
Yeah,
what I mean by that
yeah,
is we need to see. I mean, Zellhuber has went in there and he has lost to Michael Johnson and Ribovic from Argentina. And then he beat
yeah.
Prado in a fight that we thought could have went the other way easily. Um, his other fights are not against people that are on their way up. Um, King Green has, I mean, h- split decision win on the last one, right? But then Ruffy and Patty Pimblett, I mean, and then he beat,
Killers.
those are losses, but then he beat Jim Miller. Um, and he's got a win over TJ Dawson. So this is, hey, King Green, do you still have it? And this is to sell Huber. Hey, if you lose to him, you got a lot more work to do. You're not who we thought you were. So you're coming off of 2 losses, and then you lose to King Green,
Mm-hmm.
um, who's has been, and he still is, but he has been a great fighter.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's got the potential to cause moments. But if you can't win this fight, I mean, King Green's not ranked at this point.
Nope.
So you want to move up, like you better show us something in this fight. Um, and so for Zellhuber, this is a big, this is a career fight for him. For King Green, it's a do I still have it kind of fight, you know? Um,
Do you think he still has it?
I think he's got the potential to. I think King Green, given the right moment, can end this fight.
Are you adding
And
him to your massive underdog
no,
parlay? Okay.
because again, I'm going to go over the technique over the brawling. And I feel like Zellhuber's going to go out there and fight with technique, and Bobby Green's going to go down there with his shoulders forward and
You
doing
never seen
this, and then he's gonna swing from the bottom. And look, he can catch people. He's fast enough. He's aggressive enough. But when I
Nah.
say he's aggressive, like he throws with aggression, but he doesn't like keep the action going. So I think when I'm looking at, who's going to win this fight, the guy who's going to be more technical, who's going to keep the action going, he's going to keep throwing jabs, he's going to keep throwing kicks, he's going to keep doing that. Yeah, he's going to have to go back to, to let those punches fly by his head, or duck to let the punches fly by his head. But that's only every now and then, because King Green is not throwing a lot of volume.
And
So
he's
from
not
that
gonna.
perspective,
Yeah, he
I'm going to
just
go with
leans back
Zellhuber
with the gap.
to
He's just gonna do this
to be able to
with
keep
the
that
reach.
distance.
Yeah.
But if you get in a firefight with King Green, watch out. Like, you might knock him out, but he might also catch you. And that's a very real possibility in this fight. But I will go with Daniel Zellhuber in this.
I think Zellhuber needs to really put his foot on the gas in this one.
Yeah.
He might
Yeah.
go an Ian Gary route and just kind of point, kick,
Mm-hmm.
punch,
And I think that's his way to win this.
stay out of danger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
I think he frustrates Bobby Green for about 3 rounds.
I think he could do that. I think
Sorry,
that's
King
probably how
Green.
it goes. Yeah, King Green.
Yeah.
So he's not making your big underdog parlay.
No.
Okay. Disappointing. I think I have somebody who
Yeah.
might make your big underdog parlay though.
Oh, yeah?
I think I might. David Martinez
Mm-hmm.
versus Marlon Vera. David
Yeah.
Martinez
Mm-hmm.
on a run of wins.
Mm-hmm.
Unanimous decision against Rob Font. Unanimous decision against Franklin. TKO of Oliveira. Not that Oliveira. Simon Oliveira. Before that was not in the UFC. Yeah, not that Oliveira. Right? He's going against Marlon Vera, who okay. I'm not a Cheeto fan. Let me start there. That's a hobby fight. If it's not in Canada, Cheeto gets it. If it's not in Canada, he gets it as a hobby fight. Lost by split decision.
I agree with that.
If it's not in Canada, he gets it as a hobby fight.
I don't remember it particularly, but I remember it.
It was very, very close.
I remember thinking
very,
he got
close.
robbed in that fight.
Yeah. It was very, very close. I had it for Marlon Vera, though, 100%. And yes, there was a little bit more volume by Zahabi. Marlon Vera knocked him down as well. So that's who Marlon Vera has fought last. What are the odds on this fight, Roger? How big of an underdog is Marlon Vera?
Marlon Vera is a plus 350 underdog.
Not that crazy. Plus 220.
Okay, plus 220.
Plus 220. I have not seen Marlon Vera get finished.
No.
I think that is David Martinez's path to victory.
To finish him?
I think Marlon Vera, that's how he has to do it, in my opinion. I don't think I think Marlon Vera is a very durable fighter. I think his activity sometimes is low, and the David Martinez side can put his foot on the gas again at that elevation and really have Marlon Vera on the back foot. I think the experience Marlon Vera has is being undervalued here. I understand the odds to a certain extent, but as a hobby fight is way closer. Yes, it's an L, but if we believe Zahabi is a top 10 fighter in that division, and that went to split decision, I don't believe it. But he's got some wins in there.
Yeah, I mean he's ranked, but
right, but he got that. That's what the UFC's telling me, right?
Yeah.
If we believe that he hung in there with a top 10 fighter, went all 5 with Sean O'Malley, who's a top 3 fighter, and then lost unanimous decision to Figueiredo, which looks a little bit worse now, but still one of the all-time greats. Split decision loss to Corey Sandhagen, right? Minus 275 just feels kind of crazy.
Right.
For the other guy, who this is his biggest jump in competition. I get
It
it's in
is.
Mexico. I get that there is a 6-year gap. I like Marlon Vera in this one. And that might be a silly take for me, but I like Marlon Vera in this one. What says you?
I think the odds are too high on this one, but I've got Martinez winning this and Marlon Vera being very frustrated and angry again at the end of a fight because he doesn't have the activity to keep up with Martinez, but he's going to think that because he's landing some of his punches that he's winning the fight. I don't think Martinez gets a knockout. I think Martinez outpoints him for 3 rounds and just stays on the gas with his activity. And Vera stands there inactive again because he didn't learn his lesson from the last time. And
Martinez by decision is minus 165, so that's how Vegas sees it shaping up as well.
I just don't, if I saw him, if I saw Vera with a lot of activity on it,
Mm-hmm.
or seeing him just like running through guys, but like he's decisioned some people and he's had some close losses, but those losses weren't necessarily because of skill or talent. It was because of activity.
Yeah.
And I look at a guy in David Martinez who's active.
Mm-hmm.
He's got quick kicks and he's going to stay on them. And he's going to kick the legs and he's going to get out and he's going to kick the legs and he's going to get out. And it's not necessarily going to hurt Cheeto Vera. So he's not going to think he's losing the fight. And Vera's going to land some shots and he's going to think he's winning the fight. And if he doesn't step on the gas or if he hasn't learned his lesson, because I think the last one bit him because he didn't learn his lesson. So if he's learned it now, then maybe you see a more aggressive Cheeto Vera. But if he comes out there lackadaisical again, David Martinez is going to win this fight. And I don't even think it's going to be close. I think you're looking at a 30-27 and Vera thinking, how in the world did that happen again?
If he loses to that guy, we understand what direction. He's already going in that direction, but we understand what direction it's going in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hobby loss might have done way more damage than we could expect. We'll see where he goes on this one, but
I think
losing that one is going to really, that might be a tide changer for Marlon Vera. If he doesn't, it could do one of two things. It could really remind him how he got to where he got to.
Yeah.
Right? Which is being front foot pressure, finishing fights, right? Living a little bit in the danger. Or he might sit back again, like you said, get comfortable in that fight style, listen to people like us who thought he got robbed, and think David Martinez won't do that to him. But again, it's a Mexican fighter in Mexico.
Yeah,
it's very similar to Zahabi in Canada. You can't give them room to work and even have an inkling that the fight is close. You got to go take that fight.
I think if you're Cheeto Vera, the way to win this fight is to keep coming forward. And that's, a lot of people say that about every fight, but there are counter strikers and there are people that don't sit back and be a counter striker. If you sit back to be a counter striker in this fight, unless you catch him, which you're not necessarily known for, you got to be on the gas. You have to be the one going forward. You've got to make him do the backing up. If you make him do the backing up, he's going to be content to stay around the perimeter of that octagon and jump in on you because Vera likes to be right there in the middle. And Martinez is going to be very content to stay on the outside, come in and tag you and move out, come in and tag you and move out. And you can't be that person in the middle who's getting tagged and moved away from, the whole fight because
I agree.
It's going to be a whole, was it Carlos Condit, Nick Diaz? And Nick Diaz not known for not being active. He's known for being very active, but in that fight, he had to chase Condit. And I think that's what you're looking for in this. Martinez has to be able to use his movement to win the fight. And I think on the flip side, Cheeto Vera has to cut off that octagon and has to be aggressive and keep him moving backwards.
I agree.
And then keep him trapped If he does that, I think he can win the fight because he's a talented fighter. Like, he can win the fight, but he's got
Very.
to be smart with his brinksmanship in there. So
We'll see. I'm leaning with the fact that he learns his lesson, especially losing to a guy on his home turf, realizing that he has to take the fight to David Martinez.
Mhm.
Maybe that backfires. Maybe David Martinez gets to land something heavy to really finish Vera when he hasn't really been finished in
yeah,
the last 8 fights against way better competition.
right.
I say way better. We don't know where Martinez is going yet, but
And
proven talent, right?
he's ranked number 10, so he's got some proof of concept there.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll see. Maybe the fun play is Martinez to win by finish if we feel like Vera is going to overextend and Martinez is going to get that win, right?
Yeah.
Um, going to a title fight though that you were a little bit unaware before we got on here last time. Have you gone back and looked at Kavanagh a little bit?
No, actually.
Okay. Well, this is a short notice fight for Kavanagh. Moreno's original opponent dropped out. I think Kavanagh had about a month though on this one on
Mhm.
short notice. Um, trying to get the sour taste of that knockout loss to
Yeah.
Charles Johnson out of his system. Um, Brandon Moreno, perennial title fight guy, been in there a bunch of times for the belt. Fought some of the best in the division. Fighting in Mexico, uh, for the first time. That part I can't speak to confidently, but I
Who,
know,
Moreno?
yeah,
I'm pretty sure he fought in Mexico before.
this
I
is his
think
home turf though.
he fought a title fight in Mexico.
He did. He did fight Pantoja. He's fought for the belt a ton,
Yeah, he has.
a ton.
Yeah.
This man is like,
When he
again,
loses the fight, he goes back and fights the next one up and he beats him.
yeah,
And so he gets back up there to the title fight, and he's been champion and he's lost the belt and
yeah. He's had the belt 3 times.
yeah. Because the
Yeah.
thing is, when he gets up to the title fight, he'll win some.
Mm-hmm.
So
Lost to Pantoja by split decision, and then lost to Royval by split decision. Amir Albazi, beat him unanimously. Steve Erceg beat him unanimously. Got TKO'd against Tetsuya Taira,
mhm.
which is what people are looking back at for this fight,
Yeah.
and why this fight could be a dangerous fight for him to take. Speed is on the Kavanagh side. I won't say striking volume is on the Kavanagh side necessarily, but he can provide that at times. People are worried about Moreno in there against a speedier guy. I don't think I necessarily am though, because of the way
Okay.
that speedier guy plays defense. He hasn't figured out. Maybe he has since his last knockout loss, but I don't think he's figured out his way to exit those exchanges
Mhm.
in a very efficient way yet. He just does the step back, lean back, step
Yeah.
back, lean back, step back, lean out. He hasn't learned to circle out
Yeah.
necessarily, or to keep the hands up to block. He's just, he's flowing in there.
Mhm.
And that's nice against lower level talent. It's not really the best against when you
Yeah.
start climbing. It's to get knocked out against Charles Johnson and then your next fight be Brandon Moreno.
Yeah.
Those are different levels. Now, granted, different style of fighter. Moreno's not really
Mhm.
putting the gas pedal down to push forward and knock you out, which is why this probably feels like a good short notice fight to take if you're Lona Kavanagh. Um, I just think that Moreno has a lot of tools where he can mix this up. I hope he doesn't fall in love with the exchanges. I hope he doesn't try to go in there and stay in the pocket with Kavanagh. I
Mhm.
think even as the more experienced guy, the better fighter, but better resume as of right now, um, you leave yourself susceptible to a guy who's a very talented striker in there. Um, if I were to pick this fight, I could see Moreno wrapping him up and get him on the ground, potentially by sub, maybe after an exchange where he drops him.
Mhm.
But I feel like the path to victory for Moreno, there's a lot more paths than the path to victory for Kavanagh. And this is a 5-round fight. Moreno could pace himself and drag Kavanagh into deep waters, especially in that back end of the second, maybe early third, where Kavanagh isn't going to be used to that altitude,
Yeah.
isn't going to be used to that pace, isn't going to be used to those later rounds in the fight, and maybe you just allow him to. You keep the activity high enough in those first 2 rounds to where, again, back half of the second, early third, Kavanagh's breathing heavy, and
Mm-hmm.
you're finding your stride, and you could really start to tee off and get yourself maybe a TKO, third round, sub third round, something in the third going into the fourth, um, to kind of remind people where you're listed in that echelon of those fighters. What says you, sir?
Um, I think it's going to be an exciting fight. I'm leaning towards Moreno in this one, heavily towards Moreno in this one. I don't know a lot about Kavanagh. I know he is a very active fighter. Um, he's going to be throwing a lot. He's going to be exciting. He's going to scramble a lot. Um, I do think he's going to run up against somebody who is on another level on this fight, and so
Mm-hmm.
that's why I'm picking Moreno. Um, it's nothing against Kavanagh. I just I don't think he's there yet. Um, and to put him in a 5-round fight in Mexico City is something I would dread to begin with, just having to fight that
Yeah.
fight. But put him in there against Moreno, who's done it before. Um, he's been in those big fights, and I'm going to go for Moreno. Now, Kavanaugh has huge chance to make a big name for himself in that division and to make a big
Mm-hmm.
splash. If he goes out there and he beats Moreno, I mean, it's kind of hard to deny him a big fight after that. And if he goes out there and
Here's my juice on that one. If you're gonna take him to win in under 2.5 rounds, because that's how he's gonna have to do it. He's gonna have to win a blitz,
Mhm.
catch Moreno on the chin that's been caught recently, and put him out.
Right.
I don't think he's gonna beat him by decision. I don't think it's gonna be later. He's gonna have enough juice in the later rounds to kind of continue that. I think if Kavanaugh catches him, he catches him early
Right.
before Moreno is able to, you know, set his pace
Yeah.
and wear on Kavanaugh. So, and I mean, that's very possible. The man has good hands and he's very quick.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. No, yeah, he is. Um, I did not know he was such a you had told me about him, um, but and him taking it at as a last minute fight, which is probably why the one's not ranked and the other one is.
mhm,
I still wonder how he
especially with it
got
being
that
knocked out.
call, you know? I wonder if they went down the line of who was available and
That is exactly what they said happened. They called a bunch of people in that division, and you know how that division's set up right now. If you look at it, Van Tyro have their situation,
yeah.
right? UFC Miami. Manel Cap is not gonna go and take that fight on
No.
short notice based on where he's in the situation. Royval's not being a company man anymore. Why would I go down and fight somebody who I already beat,
Yeah.
right? When I've already done the company man thing twice now
Right.
and it's burnt me, right? So you start going down the list. Charles Johnson just got TKO'd, well, KO'd in his last one. Bad. That guy who beat him, do you risk going against Moreno on short
Yeah.
notice in that altitude? Probably not, right?
Yeah.
Like,
'Cause you almost have to start your training camp in there. Like, you almost have to
exactly.
fly out there.
So if I'm Kavanaugh and I was already kind of like given the golden boy moniker when I come in there, you know, the speed, the way he fights, the way he looks, they could market him very well, right?
Mhm. Oh, he could be marketable if he can pull this off.
Exactly. And I go in there against Charles Johnson, who they expected me to beat, and he knocks me out. Let
Yeah,
me get
you
back
gotta
on
do
the
something.
horse.
Yeah,
Let me get back on the horse. Let me try to get things right. Let me try to right the ship. And if I take Moreno out, all that Charles Johnson thing's forgotten. Because you
it
know who else
is.
got knocked out against Charles Johnson? Joshua Van. So, like, if I could come back and flip the script, I could
Yeah.
put myself in the mix with like the Manel
Mhm.
Cops and stuff,
Yeah.
even after getting knocked out by Charles
I'd
Johnson.
love to see
So
that fight. Manel Kopp and
Manel Cop
Kavanagh,
Kavanagh,
that'd
yeah,
be a good fight. I'd pick
exactly,
Kopp to win it, but that'd be a good
yeah,
fight.
it would. So I think it's smart for him to take it.
Mhm.
Um, Moreno, I understand why he's okay with it
Yeah.
because again, I think there are some deficiencies in Kavanagh's game, and he's
Mhm.
still very new to this and very young to this. I think the odds are pretty sharp, plus 170 to minus 220 Moreno. I do like the Moreno side on this one.
Yeah.
Though I think Moreno again will play this smart. Um, hopefully not get caught in that early exchange.
Right.
So if you're giving me two options on this, it's Moreno to win over 2.5 rounds or Kavanagh to win under 2.5 rounds. I don't think Moreno finishes him before the 2.5 round mark.
No. I think if Moreno went, now he could wrap him up in a submission. I could see that.
He could. He
But
could.
I could see it going the distance and Moreno taking this one.
Mm-hmm.
And
And I think it'll
that's
be.
probably the
You go.
smart fight for him.
Yeah, I think he should approach it smart because again, he didn't go into this camp preparing for, uh, Kavanagh. I don't remember
Yeah.
who the original fight was, but there's few people in that division who operate at that speed. It's the
Yeah.
cops, it's the Tetsuya Tairas, even Joshua Van. I wouldn't say it's like necessarily a speedster. Um, he's just really sharp with his
Mm-hmm.
hands. So yeah, if you see what Kavanagh presents, maybe prepare a little bit like how you're preparing for Tetsuro. And I think Tetsuro was a little bit better on the ground as well,
Mm-hmm.
which also made it tough. He was okay engaging with you because he was comfortable on the ground. I'm not sure
Yeah.
Kavanagh necessarily is. So yeah, I think it'd be a great fight. It'd be a great fight night ender.
Mm-hmm.
Um, again, I'm on the side where a lot of these fights will not go the distance.
Yeah.
One, because of youth versus age. Two, because of that altitude.
Mm-hmm.
And guys being willing to get into those exchanges as well. I think a lot of these guys are okay with the hands and they're not looking too much to grapple, which especially in those second rounds, again, those second rounds, if you really want to get crazy, you could take a few of these to finish in the second round.
Yeah.
Yeah, will
Well,
be
and
where the bread is made.
that's very logical because that, the weight is going to be your um, the first fight. The altitude is going to start hitting you when you're cutting weight. So, and then it's going to bleed into the fight. So that first fight, like the third person in that is the person you're fighting. If you can, if you've got them to where you can last till the second round with some of these people and they're not conditioned like you are, if they're not conditioned to the altitude, that creates a huge advantage for you and disadvantage for them. This is a fight card that's going to be probably, my prediction would be a war of attrition against the altitude for a lot of these fighters that would be evenly matched at sea level. It's who prepared better. And some of that is just, going to tell Dana White, hey, we can keep this guy around because we know they're going to be ready.
No, for sure.
We know that they're going to prepare for a fight, that we're not going to call them and have them come in unprepared, that they're going to show up and they're going to do everything they can. I would be very hesitant with the fight with Regina stepping in so short notice if she wasn't from Mexico City, but she is. So that's not a concern in that fight. But yeah, that's what I think of it. I think the altitude is going to be what creates it. I think if you fight in Denver, it's the same thing. So,
Mm-hmm. I think
but in
personally,
Mexico City higher than Denver?
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Um,
So,
I think personally, the media and a lot of the MMA channels, or let me say TikTokers that I've kind of viewed, sees this one as being a very heavy uh favorite early finish type of
mhm.
card. So it's interesting to hear your take on staying with the vets at the large money, the plus money, um, to make these fights tough and give these debutantes a little bit of something
Yeah.
to bounce back on and learn from.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see if your view of it compared to a lot of those guys' view of it is sharp because
Hey, first round
those
finishes happen
odds
too, so
those odds are insane.
they are. There's a lot of insane odds on this card.
Yeah, I'm telling you, and some of the ones that you loved, one that you didn't really love because you didn't love the Marlon Vera one. I was looking at, and yeah, I could see, it being really fun,
Mhm.
depending on how it shakes out. So,
Yeah.
ah, man, I can't wait to come back and talk about this one.
Yeah.
Um, when it does happen, why does it sound like the boxing fight has started when you when you get notifications? That is funny.
Because everybody else's sounds the same, so
So you went and
when
got a
I'm
boxing
somewhere and I
ring.
keep hearing the ding, I check my phone. Nobody's texted me because um, because
You know. Oh
holy
man.
smokes.
Yeah, that is what your odds plus my Marlon Vera with a little fiver could do off of 4 fights.
Okay,
Um so we'll see, man. This
I
is
might
not
lay that same
advice.
one, and that's gonna really affect the odds, ain't it?
Not enough. Not we're not we're
Oh
not
man.
we're not enough to sway and have the gambling committee wonder what's happening with these odds. We don't have that much pull. Um but yeah,
I've
this
got a
has been
glitch.
you which glitch you got?
I hear you, but I've got a glitch. I can't see
Oh,
you.
all good. All good. We'll close it out. This has been The Art of MMA. I'm your host Amal. I have Roger. Hopefully you guys enjoy this fight night. We will, and we'll be back to review it next week. And then we have a very, very big card to preview next week. The Oliveira, the right one, is fighting next week. Against Max Holloway. And that card is starting to shape up to be a pretty cool one as well. So can't wait to see y'all. Hopefully y'all enjoy the content. Keep subscribing, and sharing. And we'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.